This is episode number 12 of the Homeowner Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all.
Are you
Come on,
singing?
Kevin. It's a small world.
I'm singing too. After all, it's a small world.
Why are we singing that?
I have no idea, and what I really don't know is how you got me to sing it too.
It's social pressure, man. There's only two of us. You had to do it.
It worked.
Yeah. So no, we're doing a show that has some Disney stuff in it, and I wanted like the most obnoxious Disney song ever to get stuck in your head for the rest of the show.
Thank you. It's there.
So I want you to go lay your head on the pillow at night tonight and just have that, little odd children dancing around in circles.
Thank you.
As you go to sleep.
Thank you for
May they torment you there.
for the visual on top of the earworm.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, I will tell you, and you know this about me, Craig, but Disney's close to my heart.
Close to the heart. It's special.
I love Disney.
Yeah. We both have a love relationship going on with the Disney parks and
Absolutely.
the Disney stuff. We love Disney.
Yes.
And so tonight we're going to be talking about a cool product for your home from Disney.
Yeah.
Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, it is cool that they're creating products like this.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So before we talk about that, we want to tell you guys about some cool things going on with the show. One, we got these cool new stickers. Woo! Check that out. So what is it? Extreme close-up? Is that?
Yeah. Extreme close-up.
So brought to you by Sticker Mule. You got the Sticker Mule sticker?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So we got these cool stickers from Sticker Mule. There's the mule. Cute little mule. And we're excited to be able to give these out to you guys. And the way that we're going to do that is we have a special event coming up where we're going to be at the Thistle Draft Shop down in Spring, Texas, doing a live show on December the 17th.
Yeah, man, that's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We would love to have you guys come out and visit with us. Come say hi, and we will give you a sticker, maybe even buy you a cold beverage or two, and talk to you about your home.
Yeah, so we encourage you to just come and hang out. I mean, Thistle's a fun place to begin with, and we're excited to be able to hang out there for a little bit.
I highly recommend the truffle fries.
The truffle fries.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a big basket of them in front of me. I may even share with you guys, not with Kevin. Kevin can't have any. He's going to get his hand slapped.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But, we're gonna spend some time giving you the opportunity, the listeners and people that are there at the live show, to come up and be on the show if you want to talk to us about some of your home renovation projects or things you either want to do or maybe stuff you've done in the past, and just spend some time with you.
Yeah, we'd love to hear some stories about the things that your crazy neighbor Ed did to his house.
Or to yours.
Yeah. That Ed.
Yeah.
But anyway, if this is your first time listening to the Homeowner Show, we encourage you to hit the subscription button there on iTunes, on YouTube, or the notification bell. You can also join us there on Stitcher and Spotify or any podcast platform. You can watch the videos on YouTube. The show comes out every Tuesday, and the videos come out on Thursday. We highly encourage the audio because on the video, we ugly.
We ugly.
We ugly. So I am really excited about this live show.
Yeah, I am too. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, we sound better live.
Well, we don't look better, but we sound better live.
I feel like I'm on my game live.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring all my good material.
Okay.
So, which I haven't used yet. So, if you've enjoyed the show thus far.
You got better material?
I got better. I've got material that I am hiring lots and lots of people to write for me.
This should be interesting, y'all. I would come just for that.
I am breaking the bank for the Thistle show.
All right.
So let's get into this thing, man.
Sure.
We were talking about the Disney or the Circle Disney. Is that what's the?
Yeah, it's Circle with Disney.
Circle with Disney.
Yeah, that's the way they market it. But most people just call it Circle.
Okay.
What's really interesting about this device is when you look at it, it's not a circle at all. It's a cube.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a like a 3.5-inch by 3.5-inch cube.
So not an educational device.
Not at all.
Well, not, if you want to teach your children poorly,
it's not going to help you with,
which can be hilarious.
especially if you just want to turn the internet off. This thing will do that. But the reason it's called Circle is partly because of their user interface. Whenever you look at it, whenever you input it into the app and use the app, everybody kind of shows up in a circle. And
like on the app itself.
The app itself that you use to partner with this device, this physical device.
Yeah.
Everybody shows up in a circle, and there's this idea of circling everything around the internet.
Well, how very hippie and new age of them.
Yeah, I just don't. I guess maybe they tried
We need to put more families in squares.
Maybe they tried like a circle ball and just kept rolling off the table. Who knows? Who knows?
My circle keeps breaking.
Yeah. So anyway, it looks
totally
like
different song. That's
that's a different
May
song.
the circle
be okay. There's also the circle of life, right?
Oh, that's more Disney specific. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that back.
You're welcome.
We need to stay on topic.
Okay.
I got to tell you my favorite thing about this particular thing that we're reviewing today.
Yeah.
The Muppets are on the box.
Oh.
Yeah. Like all of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Really?
Like it's like a cast of like 40 Muppets on the back of this box.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
That's impressive.
The price is worth the box just for the picture. So
probably not. Hey, so why don't you give us just an overview of what is this device and why would anybody want to go out and purchase this device?
Yeah, so I think this is really more like a family-oriented device. I mean, if you're just a couple that has a home, it may not be, very useful to you unless you're like in a very untrusting relationship. But really, the whole point of this device is to manage the internet coming into your home,
right?
And like what you can do with the internet and who you allow to do it with.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean I think that's pretty much the gist of it. It's just the internet management tool. And if you listen to, man, I cannot remember what episode it was. I think it was like episode 4. But anyway, it's the one where we talked about digital security
with Micah.
With Micah,
right?
I mean, this is a serious issue for families right now as to like what your kids can be exposed to via the internet.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much limitless.
Yeah.
And so like if you want to have a better idea as to what your family has access to, what it is they're actually seeing, the amount of time that they're using the internet for, a device like this could be really, really crucial for your family's management of the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people that I think are recognizing the vulnerability that their kids are under whenever it comes to these devices. I mean, there's a lot of social pressure out there to get smartphones for kids.
Yeah.
Not just teenagers, but preteens and even younger. And the question is, I mean, how do I know what my kid's doing on these devices? Is there a way I can manage their time on it? Manage the things that they see, manage the things that they do, and this device gives you the power to manage those things.
Yeah, and I don't think like we're like trying to promote like being like helicopter parents or anything like that.
No, not at all.
But like it's just, I think it's a good idea to have an understanding as to like what the reality of the situation is. And I think a lot of people have some misconceptions about this because as your kids get older, 1, they get smarter, 2, they get more curious, and 3, if you think this is a gendered issue, it's not. I mean, I was reading something the other day, like the quickest growing market for like pornography is for females, like young females, and the way that they're getting access to it is through smart devices like phones and tablets and things like that. And people who produce that kind of content are making it readily available for those devices because they know that is a vulnerable point for most families, not for most families, but for most young people. I mean, because like you said, a lot of parents have the pressure to get their children those devices, get them in their hands, and then when they have them, and they have access to the internet, I mean, like the world is their oyster. And man, do they like to go exploring. Yeah,
and so I do think that while you said it best, we're not promoting helicopter parenting.
Right.
What we are promoting, and really maybe not we're promoting.
Sure.
What this
Circle is, yeah.
What Circle is promoting here is just give you access to control the internet,
Right.
because without control, you said it, the world's your oyster. I mean, everything is at your fingertips. So let's just Circle has said, let's just create a device that gives people control of their internet.
Yeah.
So how do they do that?
I don't know. I'm not a programmer. It's
So
it's Disney magic.
More Disney magic. Sprinkle pixie dust
That's right.
everywhere. So there are certain features that this device gives you access to. So maybe we just start off by kind of listing what some of those features are.
Yeah, so I mean, like we have a list here of all of the ones that they list as features, and the first one that jumps off to me is time limits. And I know like on iOS devices now, like you have this feature where like they evaluate your screen time and they give you back that data. Well, that doesn't do anything. It doesn't it doesn't regulate you. It just sort of makes you feel guilty if you spent too much time on Facebook. But this seems to indicate that they can actually limit time that you have access, and from what I gathered, it's not just like overall time, it's like specific time for certain things even. Like you can say, okay, well, you can have an hour of social media time,
right,
or you can have 30 minutes of this for the week, or whatever it is, but you can portion out that time into different areas. Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what it does. And in doing so let's say you want to give access to a person an hour on social media, and maybe you target something like Instagram. So an hour on Instagram. After that hour, it will disable that app on that device.
Right.
So you can't use it anymore. So that's exactly the way that works. It gives you access to limit the amount of time that an app can be used, or that a device can be used, or even times of day. So we're going to get into another feature that does that a little bit more precisely.
And you may know the answer to this, because this was something I was curious about as I was watching like some setup videos and some reviews, some other reviews about this product. Does it do it by device, or does it do it by the person?
You can do it by device.
By device.
Now, yeah, and so basically, you set up a profile of a person, and the place where it kind of gets a little tricky here is that, let's say that you've got two kids and they share a device. You're going to have a problem with that with this system. The way this is set up, it does not allow you to limit devices per profile.
Okay.
So it works. You have a profile and a device, and it's just the way you set it up is we're making it sound more complicated than it is.
Yeah. But essentially what's going to happen here is if you have Johnny and Susie sharing an iPad,
right,
Johnny could potentially use up all of Susie's social media time and could care less, and then Susie fills Johnny's bed full of bees because she's mad.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the way that works.
That's not how your family's resolved their issues?
No.
Oh, okay. Just me.
Okay. Yeah, so time limits.
Yeah.
All right.
And so the next one would be filters.
Filters.
Yeah, and so this one's, and again, this may be something, I mean, you're more tech savvy than me, and so I'm curious, are these smart filters, or do you have to like specifically go like, hey, you can't go to skateboards.com? So like say I say, okay, Johnny, you can't go to skateboards.com. Does it then learn that other websites are also about skateboards and filter those out?
Not exactly.
How does this work?
Not exactly. So they have certain groupings that you can set. So for example, if you've got a teenager, you can set the teen filter.
Okay.
If you have a preteen, you can set the preteen filter. If you've got a toddler, you can set a toddler filter. And each time whatever filter you're using, it gets stronger and stronger, and it limits access to certain things. That being said, you can also filter certain websites. So if there is a certain
specifically list those.
Correct. So they have presets in there, and that's going to do certain things. And so then what's really cool about this then is, let's say Johnny goes in and accesses this skateboard website that you have said, I don't want them to access. It will show up on his device. You're not allowed here.
Right.
And then it will send you a notification as the adult on that, or the administrator on that account, saying, Johnny tried to access this.
Ooh, it's a tattler.
Right.
You know what kind of filter I want?
Here we go. Tell me.
America, help me out here. I want a filter that prevents my children from listening to crappy music.
That is so subjective.
It's not. It's really, really not.
Oh, man.
It's so easy to tell.
Okay.
I mean, just right off the bat. I mean, just eliminate. Really, I mean, like, you want your kids listening to Baby Shark? I mean,
I don't want it. But they're going to hear it somewhere else.
That's just a lazy parenting right there.
Find a way to just eliminate it from their lives. Completely.
I mean, if I was a hacker, that'd be like my top 5.
That would be it.
Just eliminate Baby Shark from the internet.
Okay. All right.
That was intended for Sunday school only.
Yes.
And when you had nothing else left.
That's right.
I mean,
yeah, and they in the actual Baby Shark song that came out, they took out all the good stuff.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Is there no Grandma Shark?
Well, no, there's Grandma Shark, but you don't. I mean, there's no 911. There's no lost an arm. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness. There's people listening that know what I'm talking
Your
about.
Baby Shark is way too deep, man. You're part of the problem.
Oh goodness, I know too much.
All right, so next feature, bedtime. What we got going on here?
Yeah, so bedtime is basically what will happen.
The internet makes your children go to bed.
That is so not what this does.
If you get on the internet, it'll play nothing but scary videos until they do it.
Yeah, so that's one of the kind of misnomers of this. I mean, it obviously cannot make your kid go to bed.
Well, this would be cool, though, right? I mean, if we get Disney villains to pop up on this, go to bed.
Go to bed. Yeah. Some of these villains are really bad. But I digress.
They're not as bad as Baby Shark.
No.
Or Bieber.
Well, okay. Now we're getting down the rabbit hole. So here's the deal. With the bedtime function here, basically you have the ability to shut the device down completely, and it's going to say on the screen something like, "It's now time to go to bed." Now, it's not going to make your kid go to bed, but they no longer have access to this device that could potentially be keeping them from falling asleep. So. Again, this kind of is similar to time limits,
right? But
it's separate in that the time limits, you're limiting a certain app or a certain genre of apps.
So it can also control apps on those devices.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So the bedtime's just gonna shut the whole thing down.
Haha.
Yeah.
Unless you want to use the word processor, kid, you're going to bed.
Yeah.
Write me a poem about how sad this made you.
Go get Grandma's typewriter. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
So
okay.
bedtime.
I like that. But I still want like a Disney villain, like either doing like a finger wag.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a suggestion.
Disney Imagineers, help me out here. We need a finger wagging Ursula.
Yeah, there's a suggestion box somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna fold that paper up.
Good luck.
All right, so we got usage. So I think this one's actually pretty cool because from what I read is it actually will give you kind of a report as to where the people who have freedom on the circle, what they've been doing with that freedom.
Right.
Where they've been going, what they've been doing. And it doesn't get necessarily specific. It doesn't tell you www or anything like that, but it was hey, you went to like an Amazon. They went they were shopping, or they went social media, or they did this, that, or the other.
Yeah. It gives some generalities, but what it does do And this starts teetering on the helicopter parent type thing. However, I see this very different than that. I see this as just, you're going to start getting me on a soapbox, and I don't want to get there. But I will tell you that I do think it's our responsibility as parents to have a good, firm grip on what our kids are doing.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing that, then we're not parenting really well. And so this usage basically says, I can go in and look and figure out what is my kid going and doing.
Right.
What are they spending their time on? So it's giving me an insight into their life that they might not tell me otherwise.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because teenagers love communicating.
Fine. Good. Nothing. Aren't those the general responses?
Later.
No.
Man, that word has so many different meanings. It's
I'm
like
tired.
Goodbye, when I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
I use that with mine. No.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
Yeah. So I guess you could also use this as a tool to like, oh, Susie's been shopping a lot. I'm going to throttle that a little. Yeah?
Yeah, I guess you could.
I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to spend my money.
Yeah, well.
Susie's not even my daughter. Gosh,
Not yet.
He's spending my money. All right. Off time.
Off time.
I have no idea what this is.
I don't either.
Really?
No.
All right,
Is this where you turn it off?
It's a feature on there. I'm going to give you a chance to look it up.
Okay.
And then I'm going to jump into history. This is one of the last features. And I think history is kind of like usage, except for that you can kind of go back, and you can look at a report, instead of going, okay, what did they do today? What has their overall, arching usage been? Because I think you could look at like a single day and like, Johnny spent, like 3 hours on Wikipedia, and it's like, what's he doing on Wikipedia? And it's like, oh, well, he had a school report. It's not like he's spending every day for 3 hours on Wikipedia. Well, he's actually doing something with that. And so in the overarching report and the history of the usage, you can kind of get a better idea, like what you're talking about, like what are his interests, where is he going, what's he been looking at, and then you can go like over a month, over a quarter, and really get a good idea as to how they're spending their time on the internet, because like a day-to-day view is probably not going to give you like the best idea, because people have different interests from day to day and different things that they're doing. And like, let's face it, I mean, like my kids, I mean, like, gosh, they're in elementary school and they're already having to do homework. Pretty much all their homework is on the internet.
Right.
Their teachers are giving them like logins and passwords for websites for them to jump on and do these assignments, and then they have to send them in. It's insane, man. Yeah. And so like, if I'm looking at the history of my kid and how they're using the internet, which by the way, for my kids, which it'll be hard because they pretty much use one computer to do all their schoolwork. Right. And so it would be hard for me through this device to get an idea as to my individual kids' usage, even though I have a pretty good idea as to how they spend their time on there. Sure, but there's even some of this homework that can be done on a device and not a computer. Sure. So in that regard, maybe we're just not in that financial bracket, Kevin. Yeah, your kids just aren't old enough yet. That's what it is. You start making money for the things that you want. Yeah. So, what else about that? I think that's pretty much it. I mean, so I've looked up off time. Okay. Okay. So off time is exactly kind of what it sounds like. It's a time that your device will basically tell you, oh, by the way, it's off time, which means screen time is unavailable. Oh. So it's similar to time limits, only it's the opposite of that. So time limits is going to say you can be on your device for this amount of time. Right. Off time is saying you cannot be on your device. Go play. Okay. Go do chores. In fact, there's a way you can schedule some of those things and say, it's time to do chores, or something like that. So, it's basically saying it's unavailable right now. Okay. Yeah. And so I would, I mean, like, from what I'm gleaning, I mean, like, this sounds like it could get like sort of micro and macro. So like, if you're not like my family and you have a very regimented schedule, you could say like, look, dinner time at the Jones household is at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And at 7 o'clock, there's
Yep.
no internet. So that way no one's sitting at the table looking at their phone. They're having to like actually engage in conversation and look at their food as it travels from their fork to their mouth.
Right.
And interact with the people at the table. And there's no opportunity to like Facebook or
That's right.
whatever.
Yeah, and so there's another feature that we'll couple this with that is called pause. But the off time is basically you scheduling a time that says during this time you will not be on your screen, and it's almost as if you're planning that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's something you have predetermined. This is going to be our off time. Okay. There's another feature called pause, and pause does exactly what you think it might do. It pauses the internet.
Yeah.
It shuts it down, similar to how off time does, except you can do that per device. So you can pause this device, you can pause that device. And so it's not so much of a scheduled thing,
Right.
as much of it is you go, okay, I need you to pause, go take care of this,
Right.
you know, that sort of thing.
And I can see the value in this because I mean like they clearly anticipated people like me who aren't going to schedule anything because everything is just constant hectic chaos, which I love, by the way.
Okay.
I love it, man. I actually feel like I do better. I guess not that I don't plan and I don't schedule. It's just kind of how we operate.
Sure.
I mean, sometimes we have to fly by the seat of our pants, and sometimes that's just how we live.
And it works for you.
And it works. Yeah. But like, you know, not only that, I mean, like it would be really difficult for me to schedule that. However, even if you are a scheduling type of person, let's face it, at some point in time, your children are get in trouble. And like one of the biggest hammers that you can hit that nail with is to just turn the internet off.
Sure.
And so like, you know what? You're on pause.
You're on pause.
Booyah.
You're done. So
You're going to get the finger wagging Ursula.
not yet, you're not. So there's another thing here that that is coupled with that even,
Yeah.
and it's the opposite, which is rewards.
Rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are rewards? Do you know?
I have no idea. I mean, I would imagine what they are. I was like, you know what? It's usually turned off at this time, but we're gonna turn it back on.
Yeah.
Congratulations, straight A's. You get full access all weekend long.
Almost.
Yeah.
But so rewards are basically saying, okay, you did something well. Maybe you came home with a good report card, or maybe you did something else good. So
you didn't kick your sister today.
That's right.
Way to go.
Woohoo! So it's different than, I'm going to punish you by pausing the internet. It's I'm going to reward you by giving you more time.
Okay.
So,
extra time.
Extra time.
Gotcha.
So this could be something as simple as, hey, you get a later bedtime tonight, and I'm going to reward you with a later bedtime tonight. And that is specifically related to more device time, right?
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe you say, okay, our off time is going to be less today. So
Okay.
you're going to get more time on your screen opportunities. So rewards are just a way to say, listen, we understand that life is fluid, and so we don't want this circle device to just be the most negative thing in the house.
Right.
Because that really could be what your kids view it as.
Yeah.
This is just a thing that limits me. Instead,
and let's
there are
not
rewards.
do that to Disney. I mean, like,
Right.
we don't want to have our kids have a negative view of the most magical place on the world.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rewards, it's an option.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, and did we talk about that this isn't the only device that has this? Did we talk about that yet?
No, we did not.
Yeah. So, is it Netgear?
Yeah.
I think it is Netgear.
Yeah,
that has the new Orbi.
Yes.
And it has the circle integrated into it.
Yes.
But I think when you and I were talking before the show, it has a limited set of features built into it.
Yeah. So basically, like we said earlier, the circle is a device, and it looks like a little cube. And one thing we didn't hit on, and I'll just briefly hit on this. The thing is either you can plug it in to an Ethernet,
Okay.
and have it draw its internet signal directly from Ethernet,
Right.
or it's Wi-Fi. So
Okay.
that's how they connect.
It doesn't have to be directly connected to the.
Does not have to be.
Right.
And the other thing, we'll come back to some of that later. But so Netgear has a new device that Circle is built into the router itself. Right. So you don't have to have a separate device. Now, there are limitations to that. Mm-hmm. So the limitations are that they have a free option.
Right.
Once you buy Netgear, this specific Netgear router, and there may be more, specifically the Orbi, more than likely they'll come up with more devices that have this. You get basically 3 functions. You get the filter function, which basically says, the content filtering, the pause function, and the history function. Okay. Those are the 3 you get. Now, if you want...
So Netgear is all about the negative reinforcement.
Exactly.
No rewards.
No rewards. So if you want the rest of them, the rest of the things that we just talked about, time limits, bedtime, off time, rewards, usage, connections, different things like this, you have to pay for that. And it is a monthly subscription.
Okay.
It's $4.99 currently.
Right. And so that enables all the missing features that you would have got just by purchasing the cube in the first place.
Right.
The Circle Cube.
Yes.
Okay.
The Circle Cube.
Yeah. Well, and then we should also mention one of the reasons that we wanted to do this episode is, and this is on the heels of Black Friday, and so they've been running a special, and these things are like right now I think are like $49.
Yeah, it's half price.
Yeah, it's and they've extended that special. I mean, like this is how long away? I forget how far away from Black Friday now.
Well, we're recording this. Yeah, we're recording this before it's going to go out, but we're 5-6 days away from Black Friday right now, and this deal is still going on for $49.99.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's a fantastic deal.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if this is something that you're interested in, so hopefully they're still running that by the time this episode airs. If not, what was the regular price on this thing? Do you remember?
$99.99.
$99.99. So like $49.99. That's a tremendous deal. Yeah. I may jump on the internet after we get done here and get one of those.
Yeah. So there's another option. So here's the biggest drawback in my mind to the Circle device. It is network specific.
Okay.
So let's say that you've got a Wi-Fi network set up in your home, and for whatever reason you've got another network in proximity to your house. Maybe your next door neighbor, they don't have a lockdown on a secured network on their network. So if your kid is smart enough, and doesn't take a lot of smarts to know how to do this, and
so if they're not, Kevin's saying they're dumb.
I didn't say it, but
carry on.
Anyway, okay. So if they're smart enough to go in and change networks over to another network, then all of a sudden the Circle becomes obsolete.
Or just turn the Wi-Fi off, and if it's cellular enabled,
that's right. Then all of a sudden you've got a whole different network that you're accessing.
Yeah.
And Circle doesn't know to limit that network. Okay, so they recognize this problem, and so they've come out with a new feature, and it's called Circle Go. And with Circle Go, it is a paid subscription. It's $4.99 a month.
Right.
It's the same thing as the same price
with the Orbi
as the Orbi subscription, and it gives you the ability to
do everything outside of your network.
Outside of your network. So if they're at school, if they're at a friend's house,
yeah,
wherever they are, as long as they are on a network anywhere, whether it's cellular or Wi-Fi, you have the ability to limit them at that point.
Okay.
So that is, to me, that fact that you have to be on a specific network in order for the Circle device to work, that is the biggest drawback in my opinion.
Yeah.
But with the Circle Go option, that changes the game.
Yeah.
And so some people maybe ask the question, why would I want to pay? I mean, it's $5 a month. I mean, goodness, that's $60 over the, over a year.
Yeah.
Why would I want to spend that money to have this device or this service limit what we're doing?
Yeah.
And again, I think it goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning of the episode, and that is just having the ability to manage and control the internet that's coming in. That without it, it's all, all bets are off.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one of the other features that, as I was doing some research that I read about, that I was like, that's actually really cool, is any device that enters the network, you immediately have access to all those features that we talked about on those devices that enter your sphere, basically.
Right.
So, like, if Johnny's clever, what he might think is, I'll call Pete, because Pete's got an iPad and Pete can just bring it over. It's not in my circle. Then we can go look at skateboards.com and not get the finger wagging Ursula and, do what we want to do.
That's not the case.
And that's not the case. And I watched this mom on a video. It was like, she was talking about how her friend came over and her daughter's friend came over. And as soon as she came over, she locked it down and said, like, no, you can't do that. Can't do this. And like, it alerted her that there was a new device in the home as well.
Right.
So you can't just like sneak one in. As soon as it accesses the internet, it jumps on it and goes, hey, there's something new in the house and you need to be aware of what they're looking at and what they're doing. And do you want to, limit this, that, and...
Yeah. So one of the things I will say is some homes I know will have multiple networks.
Right.
And your routers are able to do that. And part of the reason they do that is because you can maybe lock down a certain something.
Sure.
That maybe, the adults have access to something and the kids have the access to a little bit less. But still, your range of what you can do with that is pretty small.
Yeah.
And so for just a little bit more money, you can get this device and have a lot more control, and you can all be on the same network, and this gives you control over it. Yeah,
it's very, very cool.
It is. Absolutely is.
So, it's not as cool as a finger wagging Ursula, but what are you going to do, man? Disney's going to make this happen for me. I feel it.
Man, you're awfully confident.
I live on confidence.
Well, you have to.
I'm not good at anything. That's all I have.
Yeah, you make people think you are.
It works.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I got this show. That's how I got hired for this gig.
Yeah. You got forced into it.
Is there anything else about this?
Man, I don't think so. I think we've hit the highlights and also the couple things about it that are maybe not great.
Yeah.
But for what you're paying and what you're getting, I do think it's a great device.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, a couple things that we should mention. One, this episode is a result of a survey that we put out on Facebook. We did a survey. It said, would you rather hear about the Circle or the Tile? And the Circle won. But, however, if you would still like to hear an episode about the Tile, let us know. We'd be happy to do that. Very cool devices. Been super helpful to my wife. Also, we got these cool new stickers. Kevin, show him a sticker. Ooh. Yeah. So we're super excited about these stickers. Kevin's going to go ahead and put one on a truck. So if you were an officer of the law, we would be super stoked if you pulled Kevin over and complimented him on the sticker.
Yeah, I'll give you one.
He probably deserves that warning.
Probably.
Just a warning.
Yeah, no more.
Because we don't have the budget for a ticket right now. Yeah. So no tickets, please. But do pull him over because it would give us a fun story.
Yeah.
And I like to laugh at Kevin. So
it's easy to laugh at me. Hey, if you do have any other products that you were interested in having reviewed, something maybe that you've decided you're interested in, let us know. We'd love to review it.
Yeah, I've been begging Kevin to do that hammer episode.
Well, you say that.
Claw, ball peen, I'll do it.
I was going to say, you think that's funny and clever. You've been to a hardware store. You know how many hammers there are on the shelves.
That could be fun. We could talk about all the different hammers.
Yes, we could.
And hit Kevin's thumb with each one of them. See which one hurts the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll bring the hammer.
We'll use the right hand, right? Because you're left-handed?
I am. Well, you are too.
Well, yeah, but we're going to hit your thumb. My hand's...
Valuable? More valuable than mine?
Look at them. They're gorgeous. No.
You could be a hand model.
That's right. Whole other career.
Yeah.
Like I need another job.
All right, we're really nobody's listening at this
We're
point.
teetering on the brink here.
Yeah.
So no, look for the invite to the live event at the Thistle. Come see us, get a free sticker,
right?
Have a beverage, and particularly the truffle fries, which are very, very yummy. And please, go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Send us a message, and we will respond. And by we respond, I mean Kevin will respond.
Just me.
Just Kevin.
Yep.
If you want to get to me, good luck.
That's a challenge.
That's right. Find me if you can. No, but you can always reach us at info@homeownershow.com. You can also find us on the web at homeownershow.com on the www. We are happy to find you and respond to you there, and we love hearing from you guys.
Yeah.
So, anything else, Kev?
That's all. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode.
Bye.